Through these halls, where lovers get lost and lust consumes the wicked, a place where reality collides with fantasy, in the pages where romance is second to none. Welcome to the Lover's Library.
Hey lovers!
I'm Carly.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Zoe.
Welcome back to the Lover's Library podcast.
Hello. I try so hard not to make that noise every single time because you get to go home and I have to stay here with the producer who goes, I hate it when you make that noise.
Sydney did it like 5 times last time.
I know. It's like takes everything in me not to do it, and then you do it for me.
You just do it.
I just laugh.
Well, if you can't tell, this is a bonus episode.
It is. It is. We're just doing a mash of whatever we feel like talking about.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Okay, so I mentioned this several episodes ago, but I was working on something, and it first started like last September. I had just left my nanny job, and I was working for them for almost 3 years, and it was so tough to leave them. And then I got a job working in a childcare center, And so I just kind of felt this need to like be a mom for some reason. Like it was just like so intense.
You got that mama heart.
Yeah. And so I started looking in, like I was even going as far as like going to IVF. Like I would just wanted to like start my own family. Like that's how intense it was.
Dang.
Yeah. And so my family talked me down from that. They're like, maybe that's not what you should do. And I was like, okay, so what's the other option? And fostering kind of came up just in my heart. And so I was just like, okay, so what does that take? Can somebody that's single that works full time, like is that an option? And it was like, I did my research, like so intense. And so then in I want to say April, I was like, finally, like, I'm making the decision. Like, I'm going to go and talk to foster agencies here in my city. I'm going to see, what's available. Found a wonderful agency, started my classes. Like, you have to have 30 hours of class.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You have to have you do this 10-week class, which I did in 5 weeks because it was like twice a week.
Oh, wow.
And so that was quite a fun month and a half. And then I had to do all this paperwork and get my house all ready. And I got licensed as of last week.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear this, probably like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
maybe more.
Maybe more, maybe 3. And then after that, I got licensed on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next week I was placed with a 2-day-old.
Or like Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. And she was only 2 days old, and I had her for a couple of days. And actually, okay, I gave her a bath on like our second night together, and I'm just gonna let you hear her little cry because she was just a tiny little cry. Here we go. Oh, maybe if I turn it on. That's the water in the background.
You listen to.
She wasn't happy whenever I would like move her. Like she was really comfortable when she was like really nice and tight, and she loved the bath. She slept really good. She ate really good. She was just
a good
a
baby.
precious. She was. She got to meet a ton of people, and everybody loved her and got to hold her and hug. I know. They didn't get to meet her.
I was gonna come that night.
The next time, guys, y'all just come over.
I'm just gonna.
Well, I'll be awake.
This is if you listen to our episode of. Oh, maybe we cut that out. I don't remember. But I said that Sydney had already made me almost cry this morning. When she showed that video, I just started tearing up because the look on her face is just so like she has so much love to give. It was just so. It's the sweetest. I love it so much.
I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Mom
I'm so happy.
Thank you.
I saw her as a teacher, and she's perfect.
Especially when she says, "That's not what you're supposed to be doing, my boy."
My boy. But yeah, it was. But she left on I got her on Tuesday. She left on Thursday to go be with her family, which is the goal. And so I guess I should say I'm an official licensed foster mommy, so I'm licensed to parent. And it took
Everybody should have to be licensed to parent.
So it took a good May, June, July, August, September, 5 months.
But once you got it, it was fast. Like,
yeah, literally. I got a call at work. They were like, "Hey, we have a 2-day-old. Could you come pick her up?" I was like, "Yes, let me just finish getting to work, like getting stuff done, and then I'll come and get her." And when she got home, I was like, "What am I supposed to do with you?" Because she's so tiny. And
I wanted to be there. I was like, do you need me? Can I come?
I give y'all permission if you want to come over the first night. My parents came over that first night, and my mom like helped me do the dishes, and my dad just held her, and it was sweet. And so Thursday she went home, and I didn't get to. So here was the hard part. Because she was my first one, I didn't like know exactly what to do, and hopefully I don't get emotional because I was very emotional Thursday. But she was with a respite home, like somebody's home, and the lady was so nice. Shout out to Ginger.
Daycare?
No, she was with a fam, like a lady. She took her in while I was at work, to her home.
Okay.
Shout out to Ginger. You're amazing. I love you. She even has offered to like keep any of my children, you know, going forward. She was so
That's
sweet.
awesome.
And so the baby was there while I was at work, and they called me they messaged me, my caseworker, and she was like, "Hey, the baby's going into custody today. If we don't find a kinship person to take her in, would you be willing to be her long-term care?" And I was like, "Of course, I would love to." Like, yes.
Yeah.
And then not even like 10 minutes later, they were like, "Oh, we found a family member that's willing to take her with her siblings." And I was like, okay. So it was like a really high, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'll be able to see her grow." But then it was like, oh, okay, but I want her to be with her family. Like, that's the goal.
Ooh.
And so then I was like, okay, can I, like, they were asking me if when to like have her picked up and everything, and I was like, yeah, I'll go pick her up, and you can come to my house, and you know, I'll have her stuff ready. And I was like, it was like an hour after I would get home, so I get like an hour with her, and that didn't happen. So
they pick her up.
No, I can't cry.
Did they pick her up from Ginger?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, honey.
And so I didn't get to say bye, but it's okay.
Maybe that was better.
I think it was, because I think I would have like it would have been heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But packing up all our stuff and everything was really hard. But this is not like an emotional podcast. Stop it, guys.
It's okay.
We're
so proud of you.
Yeah, but the caseworker was really sweet, and so it was rough. So I like made pizza, and I like watched The Grinch. I was like, these are my comfort things.
The Grinch.
Yeah, and so I cried a ton.
We would have came and cried with you.
Right?
I know, but I think this first one I just needed time to like figure out how I was gonna process it.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Next time we're smothering you.
Yeah. My mom was like, I called her after, and I was just like giving her like the breakdown of like, this is what's happening, da da da. She was like, "Do you want to talk about it?" I was like, "Nope, I don't want to talk about it yet." And my family is great about giving me space when I need it. So
yeah,
just sounds so bittersweet.
It was, but
I'd have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
And you got to like hold her and bond with her and stuff. Like I know at work when we have our NICU babies that have been there for a long time, and then they finally get to go home. It's like kind of like that too, where I'm like,
yeah.
Like, I remember one of our very first girls that we had for a really long time. I got to hold her before she left. She was going to Kansas City. But I remember I started tearing up, and one of our NICU doctors, he gave me a hug, and we were both like, he's like, "It's gonna be good. It's good for her."
Yeah.
And I was like, I know.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, we had her for a long time.
Right.
Long time.
But with fostering, and I'm not a foster adopt, so there's no permanency right. There's no permanency with where I'm at right now. So I know that it's just temporary. So I think this was a good way for me to like remind myself that I want them to get back with their family in a healthy space, and
We
whatever.
pray that it's a healthy space.
Yeah, and with whatever time I have, I can just love on them, and that's the goal. So, you can smother me next time. Just I feel like I needed to do this one by myself so that I could figure out who I am through this process.
Yeah,
and
it was good. I think it was also really nice that it was a short one.
Yeah,
because it's like, can you imagine if you got one and then had the baby for like a really long time?
Yeah, and then
that would be even harder to let that one go.
Yeah,
you know, after you'd had this baby for say a month or something like that. Like that's
you
know, so maybe you'll get a few here.
Yeah, just for short.
Love them for a few days and then get them home, and then that way, when you do get a long one, you're like your heart is a little more prepared.
Yeah.
You're so amazing.
I know.
I'm so happy for you and so proud of you.
She's so great. She did. The baby did wonderful. She was a perfect little munchkin.
She sounds like it.
She was. Curly hair.
So cute.
She was. And she just fit on your shoulder, like literally. She was just
She did the baby slump. Where
She
they,
did.
Like, get that little ball. They just turn into a little ball
Yeah.
and they just fit on you perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it.
And we were at the doctor for 50 million years, it felt like. And she was asleep the majority of the appointment. And she would just like start laughing. And I was like, what are you laughing about, baby M? And
oh my gosh.
she would just still smile and all that jazz. So it was a good time for the time I had and all that jazz. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to do you want to talk about something, or do we want to talk about some books?
I have nothing, I think.
Okay. So
her life update is she's tired.
School,
yeah.
and I'm a tired lady.
Well, I talked about a bunch of books that I bought from Target the other day, and every single one was by Lucy Score.
Love her.
So if you guys haven't read very many of her books, you need to, because they're amazing. So she has this series. There's 3 of them now. She just released the 3rd one, and it's called Things We Left Behind. So the first one is Things We Never Got Over. Then the second is Things We Hide from the Light. And then the 3rd one is Things We Left Behind.
That's the second one, because I totally bought that one.
What color is it?
Blue?
Blue is the first one.
Oh, then I'm good.
Oh,
It's blue, pink, purple,
Okay.
or whatever color you want to call that.
I would say that's lilac-ish.
I think it's
lavender.
But when you look at them like this, you can tell that they're different.
Yeah.
So they're more focused on the girls, but they're also like really more about the guys. So there's 2 brothers. They live in a town called Knockmount. It's kind of like it's a real small town, kind of out in the
boonies,
out of the way a little bit. The 2 brothers are Knox and Nash.
Why do I love the name Knox?
Wait till you read the books. You're going to love it even more.
So
Knoxville and Nashville.
Yeah, right? They were 2 brothers, and they were rough and tumble boys, always getting into trouble with each other, fighting all the time.
Giving me Penny Reed vibes.
Yep. And then they had a best friend. His name's Lucian.
Oh.
And they called him Luce or Lucy. I loved it.
I love that.
Yeah. So the first book is about Knox. The second book is about Nash. And the 3rd book is about Lucian. But it's all from the girl's perspective. Like it's the girl and then the guy comes in.
Is it one girl?
Yeah.
In all of the books?
The same girl?
No,
okay.
different girl.
Oh, gotcha.
So the first book is about Naomi, and she
Campbell?
is basically escaping a toxic relationship. Like she was legit about to marry this guy, wedding dress, flowers in the hair, everything. Gets an emergency phone call from her twin sister who she never talks to. And her sister is like trash, basically. And says, I need your help, like it's an emergency. And so she rushes to find her sister, and her sister's not there. But she finds her niece. And so it's kind of like her coming to find this relationship with her niece that she didn't know she had. Well, then the trash sister like basically steals all her stuff, and so then she's like kind of stranded in this town because she doesn't have any cards, she doesn't have a car. Her ex is like shut her off from everything, and so this is her like kind of coming to be a healthy person again.
Did she love him?
Her ex? I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think she was with him because he was the right choice. He was a good candidate for the job.
He's a good man,
Like,
Savannah.
He had a good job. He was respectable in the community and like all this other stuff.
As
You know,
AJ said in the last book, the sensible choice, but not the right choice.
yes.
Period.
So she meets Knox, who he is like the town hard ass. Like he wants everyone to think he's like tough, but really he's like super caring and compassionate and
the
like
teddy bear.
Yeah, a little bit. He's still pretty rough around the edges, but like he won
Love that.
the lottery.
Mhm.
He won the lottery at one point, and he hates that everyone knows that because he's not like he still lives in his family house and he's not flashy with his money.
I wouldn't
But
tell people if I won.
He bought some businesses to like try to bring the community back up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And so he owns the bar in town, and so he's a really good character development also. So that book's about him and her.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second book is about Nash, and he is a police officer.
Oh,
He's
we
the
love a man in
chief of
uniform.
police
Oh,
in
so they're
the town.
opposites.
Yes. And everyone's like surprised that like Nash, that became his job, you know.
Right.
But he something dramatic happened at the end of the first book,
Of course it did.
which follows into the second book, and so you really want to learn about Nash and like everything. He ends up meeting a girl named Lena that actually
that name.
used to date Knox. And so they kind of
Scandal.
this is all tied into what's happening from the big event, which I don't want to tell you about it because I want you guys to read this book. But so him and her start to build a relationship. Then they have Naomi's best friend that she met when she moved there. Her name was Sloan.
Love that name too.
And
These are
Sloan,
great names.
Sloan is the town librarian. And she grew up with Knox and Nash and Lucian. And she was neighbors with Lucian. And no one knows what happened with the two of them. But they freaking hate each other.
Enemies to lovers.
Like, they hate each other. Whenever they're in the same room, they're scowling at each other. They have nothing nice to say. They're always arguing. They're
gonna read
always
that book
fighting.
only.
You have to read these books, you guys. They're
I'm not
so
going to read
good.
the other ones. I'm going to read that one.
I mean, you could, but it would spoil. No. I changed my mind. You need to read the other ones because the big event that happens in the very first book, it ties all the way through to the end of the third book. You got to read them all. But
That's how they get you.
so yeah, the third book is about Lucian and
I want to be a
Sloan.
librarian.
She calls him Lucifer. It's freaking funny
because he's the devil.
I love her. She says stuff like that he feasts on the blood of puppies and like all this stuff, and like, oh, she's so funny. I love it. One of the things that Knox did, this part had me laughing out loud. I was like crying laughing. Naomi had invited everybody over for dinner, but then she realized that Lucian was going to be in town, and Knox didn't know, and he invited Lucian, and she invited Sloan, and then they realized that they were both going to be there, and Naomi was like distraught because she's like, they hate each other, like they're going to fight the whole time. I need to plan this separate so that they're not together and all this stuff. And Knox is like, no, this is bullshit. He's like, so basically he meets him outside in the driveway and he's like, listen here, fuckers, here's what's going to happen. And he's basically like, so I need you guys to get along for the next hour or however long this dinner takes, because my wife, spoiler alert, loves you both. And
it's always,
he's like, and if you guys can't get along, it means that we're going to have to schedule things separately, which means that I'm going to have more social events to do. And I don't want that. He's
This
like,
guy
I don't want
sounds
that.
like Peyton.
So he's like, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to strap these electrodes, these 10 units. He had a TENS unit that the girls at the bar use when they're on their period to shock the patrons of the bar to show them what period pain feels like.
I love
God,
those
that's hilarious.
things.
And so he told
those
them,
videos.
you're either going to strap these on or you're leaving. Like, you're wearing these in the house, and if you guys start to fight, I'm going to shock the shit out of you, or, you know, you can go. And so he does. They both strap him on, and then Waylay which is the niece.
Waylay?
Yeah, her name's Waylay.
It's a very
Waylay.
Native American or Hawaiian.
They call her Way.
Way.
She's super cute. She's really smart.
How old is she?
She's like a teenager, I think.
Okay, I was thinking
like
teenager.
Maybe 12 in this book.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, she gets to control the remote, and it's so freaking funny. Like there's one point where like I think Lucian was eating a taco, and like she zaps him, and he's like crunches the whole taco. It's so
okay.
So
now I have to
good.
read it. Okay.
Yeah, you got to read all 3 of those. Those are
Fine.
so good. And then she has. I mean, this girl has tons of books. Like,
Am I gonna cry
are you gonna cry?
in the books?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't cry. I don't think. No, Lucy Score hasn't made me cry. Colleen
her.
Hoover did.
I've heard those are tearjerker
Yeah,
books.
I read in.
So did Hannah. What's her name?
What's
Hannah
that?
Banana,
What's that book called? It's pink. It kind of looks like that.
the one we've read.
It starts with this.
It starts with us.
Yeah.
It starts with this. I thought you were asking me. It starts with an A.
Yeah.
No,
That's a Colleen Hoover book.
I read that one, and
I
it was
can't
actually
believe you
not
didn't
terrible.
like that one.
It wasn't terrible,
That
but
one was good.
I think that if people wouldn't be like, you have to read this, it's so good,
Mhm.
and then I expect it to be so good, and it was like an average book to me.
Yeah. Well, I really liked these books, so I hope you like them. I think they're worth it. Don't read Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover,
Why?
because that book will make you cry. Like, bawl your eyes out.
I'm good. I'm good off that.
The other one was Night Road. This one, I wrote Night Toad. Night Road.
Is that also by?
Kristen Hanna.
Oh.
That's who it's by. Kristen Hanna. Those are good.
Mm.
The other one that I just read was called Meet Me at the Lake, and that one has been on my list for a while. One of my coworkers read it.
Uh-huh.
It's by Carly Fortune, and it was really good. It kind of gave me the Inn on Harmony Island vibes.
Mm.
It's about a girl that inherits her mom's resort
Mm-hmm.
on a lake, and she doesn't want it.
Oh.
So
Why don't
real
they
similar vibes.
know.
If I inherited a cabin or a library
Inherited
or
anything.
yeah, I would be ecstatic.
I'm not inheriting. I'm inheriting debt.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Give me something good.
Yep.
Actually, my parents have a house in Dallas, so I guess I don't inherit that.
I mean, shoot, they should sell that.
Vacation house?
That's probably worth a lot of money right now.
it is. It is.
Do they rent it?
Yeah.
Airbnb it?
Yeah. They're
Why?
gonna rent it.
Why haven't you told us this? Why aren't we in Dallas?
Well, my brother lives in it.
Oh,
Hey, brother.
Big brother. I mean, it has like 4 rooms, so
we could
there's
still
plenty.
crash.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that there's your brother and then 3 of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I'll share a bed with you guys. I don't care.
We're going to.
We are
Gonna get nice and cozy.
All 3 of us in
I
a
guess
twin bed.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us about yours? Books?
Oh, sure. Currently, I'm reading a book called
What's
What?
love got to do with it?
What's
love got to do? Got to do with it? I knew I was gonna get y'all singing on this podcast.
No, it's called What Lies in the Woods.
Oh, you like a mysterious something?
Yeah, so I need to stop reading murder books before we go to the woods.
Yeah,
But this one is
might be a good idea.
twisty. Every chapter is different.
Mm.
It's based on the Slenderman killings, those girls that
Ooh.
killed their friend.
Yeah.
So that's fitting for this trip.
Don't read The Cabin.
I know,
Stop
I really
reading
want
this
to.
book.
Because I read The Cellar by that same girl.
Yes.
What's her name?
Natasha Preston.
Yeah.
I love that you remember authors' names.
Her
I
books are
never
really good.
do.
I only remember a few
Jane
that are
Austen.
like really, really good that I really liked.
Yeah,
And those are some of my go-to. Like my friend, shout out to Carolyn.
Carolyn.
She's the one that does all the shirts and stuff.
Oh
for me.
yeah.
Hey, girl.
And that she's gonna do she's done some cups. She did a coffee cup and a mug for
Coffee cup,
our
mug?
giveaway.
Hey, we're doing a
But
giveaway.
anyways.
Hey.
She is not an avid reader, but she also picks a really bad book to read.
Shout out Carolyn.
She
I
was
understand
trying to
that.
read the book, the autobiography of
Ooh, autobiography.
Michelle Obama, and it took her like 2 years to read. And I was
Dang,
The girl
girl.
who
Honey,
hates
it's not-
Cookie Monster? No thanks.
I said it's not it's not you, it's the book that you're trying to read.
Yeah.
Like you're picking a bad book.
Yeah.
And so I had her read, she's read 2 Natasha Preston books now. I think she read The Cellar and The Cabin.
Oh.
So those are really good. But that's why I know those like off the top of my head, because those are like my kind of, depending on what genre you like, those are my, yeah, you should read this.
And they're not too like, this is going to keep me up at night.
Yeah.
So that's easy.
But that did turn me off from some of the cabins that we picked, because I was like, this looks exactly
gonna get
like how I
murdered.
pictured that cabin in my mind. So we're not staying there. Should we? We keep referencing it, but we haven't said.
Let's say it at the end.
Girls Trip.
Okay.
Just referenced it.
Oh.
So I was thinking about reading John Stamos's book that he just
Like a
came out
memoir?
with. Huh?
Is it a memoir?
Yeah, it's called
John Stamos.
If I had told you, or if you had told me. I
Oh.
think it's about him being like molested as a child by his
Oh.
babysitter, and how
His babysitter?
yeah, because he's like super into helping kids who have been abused and things like that. And so I thought that would be interesting to read.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Because he seems like he's a good enough person, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
You never know.
Right.
But then I also want to read a book called Promises and Pomegranates.
Mm-hmm. Hades Persephone.
No.
Isn't that the one that you sent us?
Sent us. It wasn't. That was the
Yeah.
mob boss one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but it's a Hades and Persephone.
Is it?
Yeah.
didn't
Well, I
catch
mean,
that.
it probably is because the pomegranates thing.
Uh,
But I guess I just really like
you do.
those spinoffs.
You do?
I didn't even notice that was one. Yeah, but that one seems good. And then I'm excited for our next 2 books that we're reading for the pod.
Mm-hmm. The potty pod.
I remember You with a View. What was the other one that we picked?
This was yours.
Your.
I can't. If I can't
If
have.
I can't have you.
Yeah, if I can't have you.
This
That
one
one
straight
sounds
up
good.
is like,
That's probably more.
And this is outside of my genre.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of like a
An actual.
like thriller.
I think this
murder
book
mystery
is
kind of
like,
thing.
if you don't want to be with me, you're going to regret it.
Right.
And I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I am. I've been reading so many, like, obviously we're a romance podcast, but I read a lot of love, like romance novels outside of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all so perfect. Everyone's so perfect in all these romance novels.
I know. Maybe we need a little
So
bit of a,
Mm-hmm.
a
Dark.
change.
Not
That's why I
everyone's
read
perfect.
like not romance books outside of this. I love romance books.
Me too.
But I need to switch it up a little bit with a little bit of murder.
Yeah. I'm gonna read Broken.
Give me all the love.
I'm gonna read Broken Toys next. This is the cool
That
one I
one
sent
that.
you guys.
Oh, that one has a. That was a little.
Uh-huh.
Trigger warnings out of the wazoo.
Did it? I didn't even
Oh my
notice that.
gosh.
Oh,
I
gosh.
also want to read If He Had Been With Me, which I think is like gonna be kind of sad,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
we're down for it, I guess.
I didn't know this had trigger
I just wish I
warnings.
had more time
I saw
to
that on
read.
TikTok.
Just feel
Mm.
so tired.
Yeah, I've been so work has been
The other day I slept until
Hell.
6 p.m.
oof. I'm
and
jealous.
then I went back to bed at like 9.
You crazy girl.
No,
Well-
I'm tired.
Oh, I wanted to tell you about Broken Toys. The reason why I got this book was because it is published and printed in dark mode.
Yeah. Now that's cool.
The pages are black.
I heard that
And the
that's really
writing
good
is
for
white.
people with dyslexia.
Well, Peyton
Hmm.
can read it next. But this is a
With
little clip.
triggers
You just
out of
outed
the
him.
wazoo.
This is a little clip it from the description. Galen methodically plans his every move to win her love. His obsession becomes dangerous when the people in Scarlett's lives turn into obstacles that stand between him and his plan to leave his past behind. Mm.
Dun, dun, dun.
When you say broken toys, it makes me think of the Toy Box Killer.
Ooh.
makes me think of the Christmas movie. You know, when they're in the Isle of
We have two
Misfit
very different
toys.
brains.
The pirate Muppets here.
Yeah, that's my vibe. Okay, can I tell you about my books? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I read some really good books recently. Oh my gosh. Okay, the one I wish that I would have not read and would have chosen was, and there's another book, like a book 2 coming out of the same author and the same universe. So it's Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows.
Okay.
And they both of the characters work at a museum, and he has twin nieces that he has custody of because the sister passes away.
Oh.
And you learn that really early on.
What kind of museum?
Just a regular. I think there's dinosaurs there.
Oh, dinosaur.
Yeah.
What's it called? Give Me Butterflies?
Yes, Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows. And I think she's a relatively new author.
Yeah, she's not showing up on my thing here.
She's amazing. I love her. I love her on social media. She's great. And she has like one of the main character's best friends is the next book.
I always love when they do that.
I do too. And I'm like so excited. It comes out this month.
Nice.
It actually will come out after we're on our little vacation.
Okay.
So I won't be able to read it while we're there.
Nice.
But I'm excited about that one. Okay, and then I read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. It was so good.
That sounds good.
And there's like 3 other books of the same characters that show up in the book. Like 2 other characters have 2 other, like there's 2 other books. And so she is Kimberly Lemming, and that book was That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. And then the other book that I really, really, really loved and haven't finished yet, but I am enjoying it, is The Grim Reaper's Lawyer by Mia Monica. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, Mia Monique. MEA for the Mia. She is this lawyer, and she's kind of cutthroat, kind of a lawyer, but she's only doing it because that's kind of how she's making money.
Yeah.
She's not enjoying it as much because of some situations.
That's what it takes to.
Yeah. And one of the people that she's defending kills her, and that's how she goes to limbo.
Oh,
basically.
That's right.
And so the Grim Reaper that took her, it was like, I'll give you a deal. If you be my lawyer, you can go to heaven because you definitely weren't headed there.
Yeah, oh no.
Or if you don't, you can go straight to hell.
Yeah.
And so she takes the deal, and you kind of see their relationship grow and stuff.
Aww.
So those were 3 books that I either have read or I'm reading and I'm enjoying. I'm just waiting for time to like actually read them.
Yes.
I love that. I actually, when you said that one comes out at the end of this month, it reminded me of A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon.
Yes.
Second one, Wooing.
The Demon's Guide to Wooing
A Witch.
I have that one already on hold. I'm like the first hold on Libby. So
I think I'm gonna buy it.
I think I need to buy a copy of that one.
I know. I would like to buy a
Of the
physical
Witch's
copy of all the books
Guide.
that we have.
I really enjoy reading on my Kindle,
Mm-hmm.
but I also like the idea of creating a library.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can't do that with my Kindle. So
I want to redesign my whole living room and make the back wall that's like the couch is normally against. I want that whole entire thing to be a wall of bookshelves.
yeah.
Ooh.
Last night I was thinking about my bookshelves, and I was like, I have a whole bunch of books that I don't even have up yet, but I think I'm going to have one whole bookshelf dedicated to Janet Ivanovich. Those books are really good.
What's Jen? Who is that?
She's an older author. Her first book probably came out in like 19 something.
19. The year 19.
In the 1900s. Janet Ivanovich. One for the Money. Let's see when this was published. It was...
Details.
Oh, she's helping me. I'm an old lady. Oh, no. 2006. So that's not that long ago. But 90s. I think she does have other books that were written maybe prior to that. She's a pretty well-known author. And she has a series. It's the Stephanie Plum series, and it's about this girl that...
See? Girl.
girl.
You did it.
It's about this girl that gets fired from her job as like a lingerie seller. Like she sells lingerie, and she's like doesn't want to move back in with her parents, so she's trying to find a job. And she ends up getting a job from her cousin Vinny, who owns a bail bonds shop.
My cousin Vinny?
Yeah, her cousin Vinny. Mm-hmm.
You have a cousin Vinny?
No, my
It's
cousin
a show,
Vinny's
isn't
a
it?
show.
Or
It's a movie.
But he's like, they live in New Jersey, and he's like the classic scummy
Makes sense.
bail bondsman. And this girl has the worst luck, but the best luck. Like she always gets in the worst situations ever, and somehow comes out on top, like every time. She's got a couple love interests, and you never know quite which one she's gonna pick. She's got like 27 or 28 books in this series.
Dang.
But they're all so good.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Mm-hmm. They're true crime. They're like true crime mystery kind of stuff, but with lots of like love, romance tucked in there. So those are really good. But there's so many of them that I really feel like I could have a whole bookshelf of just her stuff. And then I want to make a whole bookshelf just for Sarah J. Maas.
And I'm going to have one just of Penny Reed. Oh my gosh, you're going to love this, Carly. Maybe you won't. I don't know. So there's an author who had like a lot of inspiration of Penny Reed, but she writes historical romances.
Okay.
And she is doing like the...
like a spinoff?
Yeah, but in historical romance time.
Oh.
I'll send it to you.
So
But
like Green Valley back in the day. The town they lived in.
Yeah. And what's the first one? The Neanderthals.
Oh, the Knitting in the City books.
Yeah, I think it's like that vibe, but in historical romance times.
Okay.
And so yeah, I saw that and I thought that you would like that. And plus, okay, I was just at like literally last night was at Barnes Noble, and they have some really good like holiday books out right now.
Yep.
That look super interesting. So
I love holiday books and holiday movies.
So
like Hallmark-y.
Yeah.
Okay, before we end, you remember how we mentioned that it would be like such a fun idea if we went on a girls like book getaway? Well, it looks like we're doing it.
We're doing it.
We are actually, when this episode drops, we're actually heading out of town. And so we're going to be gone for a good 3 days, and we're going to go tour the city that we're going to, and hiking. They're the hikers. I am just going to be breathing really hard.
Well, I've never been hiking, but I do have hiking boots.
Yeah, I have boots.
I've gone hiking. I would love to go hiking more.
I like to explore.
Yeah.
But the true crime part of me is like, you shouldn't go alone.
Well, now you have two
I don't
buddies.
know that Adam would go with me. And
We'll bring a large stick.
So yeah, I'm like, I'll bring my gun.
Right. I ain't never been on a fight.
Do they have bears there?
Oh my God, that's how I'll die.
No.
If I see a bear, I'm gonna pet it.
No.
They're gonna come check on us in our cabin, and we're all three gonna be huddled up in the same bed, just like terrified.
It was a bear. It was a shadow. It was a raccoon.
Listen, the wildlife, they'll get me. I'll feed them whatever I have.
It's gonna eat you. That's how we'll get away. We'll get away.
I'll sacrifice my life
If
for you.
Riley wasn't so scared of cars, I thought about adding her onto the reservation and bringing her with us.
Oh my God.
She'll be our guard dog.
So we're not gonna let you know, because the true crime part of us is like, no.
I'm not trying to die.
But we'll take
Except by a bear.
videos, and we'll actually be able, hopefully, to record an episode while we're there.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And one of the days, like a full day of just like reading, we're all bringing our books and reading and chilling and vibing. So, yeah. And then hopefully,
Probably finishing the book that we're going to record for a podcast.
yeah, probably. And so maybe one day we'll like have a group of people from our book club come and do it. I think that'll be fun. But that's like a dream for years in advance. We're just trying to figure out how it looks for us as a group here.
And we've all just been so busy. It just sounds...
Except Morgan Page, you can come.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anytime.
Winter, you can come.
Yeah. Any of the authors that we really love, you can come. Anybody?
Lucy Score would be fun too.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
she
so
loves
good.
tacos and she's real funny.
Yeah,
I love
see?
tacos, and I'm funny.
Are you Lucy Score? So yeah, we're so super excited to have that happen here in a couple of weeks, and
the
I
weather's
guess
gonna be perfect.
yeah.
I just
So,
need a vacation.
I need a vacation too.
I just like road trips.
I need a vacation.
I'm gonna try not to sleep the whole time.
It's okay.
I probably will.
It's fine.
The cars just
vibe.
lull me to sleep, boy. I tell you,
You
what.
guys just put your earplugs in and sleep, and I'll listen to Morbid the whole time.
Ooh, I'll probably be awake for that part.
We
There's
could
just
listen
some
to our own
podcasts that I
podcast.
don't like their voices, and that's why I'm so worried that somebody will listen to ours and be like, "That bitch's voice is so annoying."
I don't think your voice is annoying.
No.
Apparently, it's been considered sexy.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I am not gagging at your voice. I'm gagging at the person that said
Yeah.
your voice was sexy.
That was creepy.
Creepy.
See? Oh, but you
I
did that on
did it.
purpose. Yeah.
Creepy.
Creepy.
Sound
Creepy
like you're saying
crepes
crepes.
with grapes.
It's a creamy beige.
And
You ever drink
graham-
Bailey's from
graham
a shoe?
crackers.
What the heck
See?
is wrong with y'all?
Greg! You seen me. You know me.
What?
You guys, you'll figure it out.
I
Oh,
don't
no.
want to listen to old Greg. You reference him every podcast.
I'm gonna make you watch him when we go on our trip.
Oh God!
And by the end of it, you guys
I'm
are
gonna
gonna
make
be
you
like,
guys watch
make an
something called
assessment.
Salad Fingers.
What?
we watched I used to watch Salad Fingers.
I
like
want to
rusty
watch. I want to watch
spoons.
Wine Country.
Can we?
Yes.
Don't lie to me.
I-
I'll be devastated.
We just need Netflix. That's all we need.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need they don't have Wi-Fi,
Hotspot.
so we might need to download some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we can plan this outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yay.
Anyway,
You guys have any tips for our trip?
Yeah, let us know.
What's your favorite road trip snack? Let
road
us know.
trip, not Funyuns. I've been on road trips with people that eat Funyuns. Not a good time.
I'm bringing Funyuns just to spite you.
I don't want to hear you guys.
It'll find its way in somebody's luggage somewhere in the back.
I'm just gonna crinkle them the whole time. Not even eat them, just crush them, spit them back out.
Oh, girl. That's what 2-year-olds do.
I mean, you
Just
know.
lick all the Funyuns and put them back.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Again, we love you. We hope you enjoyed just a little update on kind of where we've been in life, what we're
We
reading.
appreciate you for our 1,000.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully, by the time this airs, we're at like 1,200.
Yeah, that would be. That's
How cool
such a
would that
vibe.
be?
Such a vibe. We again, like they've all said, we appreciate you guys listening and joining our little club of bookies and lovers and
besties.
and
Mhm.
besties. Thanks for just hanging with us. We appreciate it. Every single time we come record, we're like, we're still doing this. Like it's
are.
still happening.
Is this a dream?
We're gonna make it.
Are we about to quit our jobs?
Yes.
Gotta build some revenue up before we do that. But you know, this is a passion project for all of us, and
sure.
we love that you guys are still listening. So if you want to be a part of our little book club, we're on Facebook at Lovers Library Book Club, and we also are on Instagram at Lovers Library Pod and Lovers Library Book Club if you want to follow us there. I think that's it. Oh, we also have a giveaway that we're doing for our 1,000 downloads. So if
Be ready to see a post on Instagram.
yeah, and we'll let you know what all that giveaway has. So again, we love you, and we'll see you next time.
Happily ever after.
Bye.